But what's really interesting about this is they select a nonprofit organization that they're going to support over the 6 months of this project. And so it's a very competitive process. There are multiple nonprofits who actually pitched their projects. We went back, we pitched our own project back in November of 2016, and we really shared with them our difficulty in recruiting male bigs. And so we asked them specifically if they were to engage with us, if they could help us do the research behind potential male bigs in Montgomery, Delaware, and Chester counties, and if they could come up with very specific recommendations of how we might implement that, what the opportunities are. And they've done, over the last 6 months, we've been working together, but they have done an incredible amount of work and research into this project. So tonight, the 4 of them are going to present their findings. And that was one of the requirements of their project too. They actually had to present to our board of directors. So with that, I'll turn it over to them. They are very...
Thank you, Greg. Thank you very much. My name is Leanne Rudolph. I am the operations team lead at the Haverford Trust Company and also a proud member of the Leadership Mainline class of 2017. As Greg said, in January, we chose to dedicate our class project to helping Big Brothers Big Sisters Independence Region. We read the literature that was provided, we studied your strategic plan, we did some preliminary research on volunteerism, and we actually had the opportunity to meet with some of the agency's leadership, including Marcus and Greg, to determine what they thought your biggest challenges were. As we understood it at its most basic level, that challenge is that with over 1,000 unmatched littles, you had an urgent need for male bigs, but you didn't know how or where to get them. You want to understand the volunteer potential in the Big Brothers Big Sisters Independence Region. You should create an awareness campaign to increase male volunteers. You'll work towards devising a long-term strategy to address mentoring needs. And finally, you're already on the road to developing innovative ways to manage volunteer recruitment and your current Big Brother Big Sister network to utilize technology by committing to a new CRM system. The need is regional. We chose to concentrate on the areas around Philadelphia, the areas that we call home, the areas we work, Chester, Montgomery, and Delaware counties. There are over 100,000 millennial males in this region alone. National statistics show that 18% are likely to volunteer for some kind of community-based service. That's 18,000 millennial males. Big Brothers Big Sisters is currently seeking in their current campaign 150 male bigs. That's less than 1% of the males that are likely to volunteer. The math is so simple. It seems so attainable, so easy, but we know that it's not. What we do know from our research is that almost 50% want to use their educational background or professional expertise to help a nonprofit. Almost 77% are more likely to volunteer if they're able to use that skill set to benefit a cause. But the most staggering statistic we came across, the one that actually jumped off of the page for us, is that 84% of millennials want to get involved. They want to be passionate about a cause. They want to be compelled. They want to be inspired to make a difference. But they need to be asked directly. So we have all of this national and regional data gathered from these big agencies with these big monstrous reports that we poured over. But we wanted to get more granular, more local, more personal. Nicole's here to tell you how we achieved that.
Even with 4-inch heels, I'm gonna need to bring this down. Sadder. So as Leanne said, I'm Nicole Stevenson. I'm the director of the program Society of Professional Women with the Mainline Chamber of Commerce. With just the 22 people in our class, we sent a small survey out to our personal networks. And out of that survey, we actually had 182 people respond, which, being a member of the chamber and sending out many surveys, that's a really great response rate. So out of those 182, people, we asked them only 12 questions to keep it short. And some of those questions were: rate your enthusiasm to volunteer on a scale of 1 to 5. What attracts you to volunteer? What obstacles are presented that prevent you from volunteering? We also asked the question, do you know the organization Big Brothers Big Sisters? And what jumped off the page to us there was that 90% of the people that took this survey knew who Big Brothers Big Sisters was. When we asked the question, do you know what Big Brothers Big Sisters does, 41% said that they lacked the knowledge. That's almost half of what Big Brothers Big Sisters actually does. So those results suggest that your brand awareness is very strong. So that's excellent. Kudos to you for that. But the knowledge of the need of these bigs and the level of commitment that it takes is low. So what we recommend is an adjustment in the messaging to emphasize the need for bigs and clarify responsibilities and commitment. We believe it is safe to move beyond brand awareness and embrace those details. So we also wanted to know what their enthusiasm was to volunteer, and we found that it was higher than the national average. There were 36% of people that showed enthusiasm to volunteer. So when we asked them why not, they said that they haven't been asked, 20%. They didn't feel that they had anything to offer, which was 30%. And that strongly correlates with the findings of those other published studies that Leanne shared with you, and is also in that executive summary that we provided. So it tells us that we need to emphasize the need for Big Brothers Big Sisters message to include a clear call for action. And the way we could do that is with the messaging on the next slide. I'm going to go back. If you go forward, you see. So the focus of the messaging. So right now you see some of the objectives. I have so little time. I should be earning money for what I'm doing. It's not manly. I'm not special. I could be accused. No one asked me. And we're going to target that message to change into something positive and let those people know that it takes little time. I should be helping. It's heroic. I'm needed. I have support. I have been called upon. And just between our network of 22 individuals, we actually had 38 people. When we asked the question at the end, are you interested in becoming a big, say yes and provide their contact information. And Greg has already gotten his team to reach out to those 38 individuals. So we thought it would be really great if you could utilize your networks to provide surveys like these and garner interest in the program, and we could do that with ambassadors, and Melissa's going to talk about that a little further.
Thank you, Nicole, and good evening. My name is Melissa Baxter. I'm a program director with Devereux Advanced Behavioral Health, and it is truly a privilege to be here this evening. Based on our findings, we have compiled a series of recommendations for your consideration. The first of which is to recommend to create an ambassador program. We have defined an ambassador as a person within the Big Brothers Big Sisters community who will represent and promote mentor-based volunteering. This program will encourage to better utilize one of your most valuable resources, your current bigs, your alumni, and your volunteers. Their primary duty will be to educate and facilitate that peer-to-peer connection with potential mentors within the community. There are a couple focus areas. The first is to encourage female volunteers to directly ask the males within their lives to become mentors. To also challenge current mentors and volunteers to bring friends to sponsored events. To recruit groups of ambassadors to participate in events, speaking engagements, and to promote mentoring within their own networks. To provide training on the key messaging for a consistent community presence, and to provide a marketing toolkit to empower the ambassadors, which would include data such as your waitlist data and leave behind collateral for events. The next recommendation is to create additional entry points for people to become engaged. A key component of this would be to identify groups and locations for the ambassadors to canvass. Examples of this would include health and sports organizations such as the YMCA, professional groups and service organizations such as the Rotary Club for Knights of Columbus. Hosting open community events that would involve matched pairs, unmatched middles, and friends of the organization would also provide additional engagement opportunities. These types of events would lend well to develop further volunteerism because short-term, non-mentor-based opportunities may be less intimidating for someone just being introduced to the organization. Expanding your site-based programs may also provide additional entry points. An example of this would be to increase your business participation in your Beyond the School Walls program in targeted areas such as Coatesville, Norristown, and Chester. These site-based volunteers could then be cultivated to becoming mentors in the future. Next slide, please. To complement these initiatives, we are also recommending a targeted awareness campaign. This campaign would be targeted to presenting the mentor need as a compelling issue or crisis. There are 1,200 littles who are waiting. By encouraging men to step up to solve this crisis, they can make a difference. This campaign should also confront the "I don't have time" claim. Clearly communicating the actual time commitments for a mentor in comparison to other common activities such as going to the movies or to the gym could prove eye-opening for some people, and for others, it may bring insight that some of those same activities could also be so much more meaningful if shared with the little. Dispelling other common misperceptions and concerns that men may have with regards to mentor-based volunteering should also be addressed. The organization should feature that all kinds of bigs are needed because there are all kinds of littles, and you do not have to be rich or athletic to make a difference. With all of these recommendations, how does Big Brothers Big Sister ensure that the new volunteers or mentors do not get lost in the shuffle? Leveraging your technology resources will be essential, and Tim will now speak to it.
So my name is Tim Burbick. I am the IT Chief of Staff at the Vanguard Group, but in a former life, I was a CRM developer and a software architect that supported Vanguard's marketing operations. So I am very acquainted with the challenges of technology and how to get your message out. What we have for you is a technology roadmap. On the left-hand side of this slide, you will see a variety of communication channels and technologies. And for these, we've defined a set of short-term, long-term, and future state recommendations. Short-term recommendations are things that you're already in progress or things that you can implement within the next year for a moderate investment. Long-term recommendations might be 1 or 2 years out, might require more significant investment. And future state recommendations really represent best-in-class practices that we've seen some of the nonprofits throughout the whole entire country that are a similar size to Big Brothers Big Sisters in the region. Because our time is limited today, I'm really just going to focus on short-term and long-term recommendations. I would urge you to read the technology strategy that was submitted to you earlier this week. That's a lot more details about the future state recommendations. I'm going to start with web, and I think I might be preaching to the choir on this one, but we would recommend a complete redesign of your existing website. And our big recommendation would be to create experiences that are unique to the users that are visiting your site. If I am a prospective big, I should be able to indicate that within 1 click of entering your homepage. And I should be given content tailored to someone that's looking to volunteer for the organization. For social media, we recommend a big centric campaign. And this is in alignment with the ambassador program that we already talked about. And by that I mean, instead of Big Brothers Big Sisters posting social media content on your own private, your own social media website, leverage the ambassadors that you already have. Encourage them to go out there, post on their personal social media profiles on behalf of Big Brothers and Big Sisters. And we think there's a couple ways you can do that. One is set the expectation with your ambassadors that social media is one of the most powerful ways to promote the Big Brothers and Big Sisters brand. 2, talk about it. When you're training bigs, talk about social media. And 3, just create a common set of resources. Do's and don'ts of posting on social media, recommendations for stories that you can talk about, and just common assets, maybe just a common hashtag that everybody can use. For your CRM system, we're aware that you already have a comprehensive strategy in place. This team would just echo that recommendation and the strategies that you already are in place. For long term, integrate your website into your CRM system. By that I mean anytime someone goes to your website to donate, to enroll a little, or to volunteer themselves as a big, instantly put that information in your CRM system to create one single system of record for all the contacts and how they're involved with the organization. For social media, start taking your CRM data and create targeted campaigns. A lot of social media platforms, including Facebook, will let you with your own social media or CRM data, push it onto the social media site and create advertisements targeted to those people. If you've had people that have engaged with you and have suggested that they want to participate in the Big Brother program but haven't taken that next step, you can create Facebook ads that are specific to those individuals, and research shows that it's much more effective than broad-based campaigns. For live events, just about every major CRM platform, including Salesforce and Microsoft Dynamics, has a mobile version of their site. Have people, big brothers and big sisters representatives, that have those mobile versions. I'm sure everyone in this room has been to a conference or an event before where the speaker is inspiring and you are jazzed up and you want to contribute, you want to do something, but you go home, life gets in the way and you forget about it. Capture that contact information at the event itself so that you can follow up with those people, and don't let them forget about the great work that Big Brothers and Big Sisters does. And finally, start leveraging email. If you have people that have suggested that they want to contribute, want to help out, and haven't taken that next step, send them an email. If you've had bigs that have dropped off the program, send them an email. Just keep in contact with everyone in your organization to remind them again of the great work that you're doing. So on behalf of the team, I just want to thank you guys. It's been an honor to work with such a really fantastic organization. We would urge you to look at any of our marketing material, but if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to any of us. We're going to stick around after this event. And also, feel free to reach out to Greg. He has all of our contact information. We can do whatever we can to help you guys in your mission. Thank you.